Hi everyone, this is Charity with Stamping with Charity, and today I am going to show you how to make this cute card using products from the Hydrangea Hill stamp suite. Actually, it's Hydrangea Haven. It was the suite. The suite has retired, so now you can buy the stamp sets and the dies separate. So it's Hydrangea Haven, and then the matching dies that go with it. And we will also be using the Tasteful label dies to cut out this piece, and the Tasteful Textures 3D embossing folder. To get started, we need a card base, and this is Highland Heather, cut at 4, actually, it's cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Then I have taken a piece of mint macaron, and I've cut it at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, which is, so this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, which is just, here's your half, and it's one big mark past that, or less that. And then I ran it through the Tasteful Textures 3D embossing folder already to add some texture. So we're going to adhere that down using your favorite adhesive. I'm going to use liquid glue. And we'll leave just an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And then I have taken a piece of the hand pen designer series paper and cut it at 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. And we are going to place that on our card base. Again, I'm going to use liquid glue. The next thing, I went ahead and already die cut this label from the Tasteful label die set. I'm going to pop that up using some dimensionals. So I want to give some depth to my card. And I'm going to place it about here. And next we have the scrap. So if you cut your paper down to the 4 by 5 1/4 for an insert or a layer, you always have this 1/2 inch strip left over. This 1/2 inch strip is what I'm going to cut to 4 1/4 inches wide, and I'm going to taper the ends. Let me grab my paper cutter here, and 4 1/4. And then I'm going to take the tailored punch and just punch the ends. This will look really nice in the middle. Now, before I adhere that down, you also have these tiny little strips for, at times, the same thing as when you cut those off. I have decided to take the little piece of Daffodil Delight, and again, I'm just going to tag or tailor banner punch the ends. And then I'm going to adhere this onto this little strip. It'll pull in the yellow from the designer series paper, and it's just a perfect match, I think. So I'm going to adhere this down with a little glue, and you don't need much. And then I'm going to adhere that onto here. Be careful where you place your glue, because if you get it too far off at the ends, then when you put your banner on, it will have glue on the end and make a mess. Next, we need to stamp our hydrangea. And this I'm going to stamp in Memento Black. I'm just inking it up. And then stamp it down. And then I'm going to stamp the flower in Highland Heather. And when you line this up, it doesn't line up perfectly, but when you stamp or die cut it, it will cut off any extra color that is outside of the borders. And then we're doing the leaves in Mint Macaron. And since these are photopolymer, you can line up your image. And then I'm going to take the mini cut and emboss, and we're going to die cut this out. Actually, I don't have the plates for that here. So I've already cut one out. You guys know how to cut this out, but here's one that I've already cut out. That'll save us a little bit of time. So now what I'm going to do is, you can figure out your placement where you would like this on here, and I'm going to pop some of it up with dimensionals. But I have to be careful on where I place my dimensionals, because I don't want extra layer on top of this that's already popped up. I just want to hold my hydrangea down. So what I have done is place my dimensionals on my designer series paper, and then I'm going to take a little adhesive and put it on the top of the flower, and the leaves, and then you can see this leaf here is hanging out. I'm going to take my dimensionals, cut the end of it, the scrap around the end, around the edges, and just place a dimensional underneath that leaf. That way it'll pop it up. There's not two layers on here. Okay. This flower needs a little Wink of Stella. And I'll just add some nice glimmer. Can you see that? Perfect. Now, for the ribbon, I actually took the dark Highland Heather Stamp and Blend marker and colored this crinkled white ribbon. And I'm going to do a double ribbon. This is about 16 inches long. And I'm going to just fold it in half. And make my ribbon. Can be a little tricky. Okay. Now this is my tail. This is one tail. This is the other tail. So if you can kind of get a hold of those, and then you can tighten your ribbon down and fuss with it from there. Okay, cut this banner end. This end that was tied together. And I'm going to angle them a little bit. Again, you can just fuss with your ribbon. And this is going to be placed on here. But what I want to do before I place my ribbon on is, in the same Hydrangea Hill suite, is this cute little gift tag. And I'm going to stamp on that the With Love and Memento Black. And then what I have done is just taken the white baker's twine and I'm looping it through here. And I looped it through the thread through twice just to help hold it. And then cut off your length. And I'm going to tie that onto this ribbon. Before I glue my bow down. And just lightly tie it on. It doesn't have to be. And then trim your ends. My little crinkled ribbon has got a few fibers that are loose, so I'm just trimming those. And then what I'm going to do is take a glue dot and adhere my ribbon down. And I want that to be about right there. And these little baker twine threads will just blend right in. You can take your pick tool, or I still have one of these older Stampin' pick tools, and you can tuck them in if you don't want them to be seen, or cut them shorter. So after that, then my finishing touch is I'm going to add some of that Genial Gems randomly. I like the color of the green on this card, and it has some glitter in it. They're so pretty. And just randomly place them in a triangular shape. And then for the inside, because we can't forget about our inside, we will take a scrap of paper, so it's just to lay under here. And again, I'm going to stamp the flower, the hydrangea. And my card base is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And this is just stamped in Memento in the same colors that I stamped the flowers before in Mint Macaron and Highland Heather. We're going to do the stems. And I'm doing the stem first on this. And again, since it's photopolymer, you can see. And then Highland Heather. And adhere that to the inside of your card. Don't forget to decorate your envelope flap, but this is such a quick and simple and cute card. Thanks for stopping by.